internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Thanks for joining us for CVM News at noon. It's Wednesday, June 17, 2026. I'm Akeem Oret. Up first this afternoon, National Security Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang is dismissing reports that there are some 10,000 illegal immigrants to be sent to Jamaica from the United States. This comes after an announcement from the minister on Tuesday that the government recently signed an agreement with the U.S. to facilitate the transit of a number of third country nationals, TCNs, through Jamaica. Speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Dr. Chang said the country will only accept 25 TCNs at a time. The minister said the procedure is still being finalized and it will be some time before the first group of TCNs arrive in Jamaica.
Some information was leaked suggesting that we were in the process of negotiating the reception of 10,000 illegal immigrants. There is no such discussion, and that leak has nothing to do with this morning.
Why transit through Jamaica and not directly back to their country or their destination country?
No, that's a technical issue which have been discussed, and it is, as I said, several countries. Not while Jamaica is one of an American island in the Caribbean, and we work that through. It's the way it goes. I think the philosophy behind it, and I can say that is why, is that if they stay in the United States, they have an opportunity to apply to stay. So the people are coming, and they're coming literally from being apprehended at the border and sent to Jamaica after some routine checks are done. They don't intend to stay in Jamaica, so the United States pay their airfare and they go back home. Their return rate so far has been about 94%. A few have opted to stay. There are a couple of Jamaicans in other countries who are not coming back to Jamaica. They were deported by the United States. When that happens, the numbers in the next shipment drop by that number. So if all 25 decide to stay, so there'll be no crowding on Florida of Jamaica. If all 25 decide to stay, we stop the program immediately.
A student from Port Antonio High School has been arrested in relation to a stabbing incident recently. During the weekend, it was also reported that a teacher from Ascot High School was shot and killed in relation to alleged gun violence. Troubled by this, Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the amount of violence students witness in their homes and in their school communities negatively affects their learning and development. Opposition spokesman on national security and St. Catherine South MP Fitz Jackson says he is encouraged by the Court of Appeal's decision to grant him leave to challenge a Supreme Court ruling in his long-running legal battle over check encashment fees. Speaking Tuesday on CVM's lead story, Mr. Jackson said the ruling keeps alive a case he believes could have significant implications for Jamaican banking customers.
What it means is that, what the ruling says is that the decision of this Judge Crescenzo Brown Beckford to have denied me the leave to make the appeal against her own judgment was not in order. And as such, the court ruled in the manner that it did yesterday. In the hearing, the court made it clear that based on the arguments presented and the submissions made by our legal team, there is a strong possibility for the case to succeed when it is heard again.
State Minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade with responsibility for diaspora affairs, Alanda Terrilong, says the government is shifting the conversation about Jamaicans overseas beyond remittances. Mr. Terry Long argued that the diaspora should be viewed as strategic partners in national development through investment, skills transfer, and knowledge sharing.
We are not focused on diaspora as remittances. We see diaspora as strategic partnership. We see them in terms of skills training, exchange of knowledge, expertise, making the right connections, and also offering Jamaica as an opportunity for them to do trade, do business, to invest. So as a forward-thinking government, we'll be moving urban centers. Again, this provides great opportunities for investment. Our economic zones are expanding. We're expanding agriculture. We're expanding our real estate market.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness highlighted his administration's economic achievements, while opposition leader Mark Golding called for greater diaspora involvement in national development. The men were not on the political trail. The stage was the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference 2026. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says Jamaica's unemployment rate remains near historic lows, reflecting continued growth in the labor market. Speaking at the 2026 renewal of the Jamaica Diaspora Conference, Dr. Holness said the country has made significant progress in job creation, but noted that employers are increasingly facing challenges in finding enough skilled workers to fill available positions.
Unemployment is at a record low. We're moving from as high as 13% 10 years ago to now just about 3.5%, the last figures that came out. It's a massive reduction. It has pushed us now, believe it or not, to practically full employment. And business people and employers will tell you that we now have another problem, a different problem, and we just can't find enough skilled labor.
The Prime Minister also pointed to improvements in managing the country's inflation rate, noting that price increases have returned to the targeted range after the disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Inflation is back within our target band of 4 to 6%. And we have kept within the target band, except for the COVID period, for the last decade. And that is exceptional for a small island developing state.
In the meantime, opposition leader Mark Golding is advocating for greater participation of Jamaicans living overseas in the country's decision-making process. Mr. Golding argued that more members of the diaspora should be appointed to public boards, citing the expertise and experience they can bring to national development efforts.
And it is for us as leaders to find and create opportunities for you to play your part to the fullest in national development. I know, for example, that public boards would benefit by your participation, and I would encourage mechanisms to be established to facilitate your presence and participation on public boards in the country.
Akeem Oret, CVM News. And we are still with opposition leader Mark Golding, where he is stressing the need for continued attention to communities still recovering from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. The opposition leader says government policies must prioritize the needs of affected residents, adding rebuilding efforts remain critical to strengthening livelihoods and supporting national development.
Our priorities must be to restore the lives and livelihoods of those who are still suffering from that hurricane. And I urge the government, whether it be through NARA or whatever mechanisms are being put in place, prioritize the restoration of broken lives. Let these people get back on their feet so they can make their contribution to national development.
And we take a break here inside CVM News at noon. Do stay with us.
From foundation to rooftop high, 50 years as the cornerstone of the nation. side by side. We've been building dreams all across Jamaica. Yeah. We're building communities, we're housing generations with trust and care. We light the way with LHD Home Starts. We're building communities, we're housing generations with heart and hope. We lead the way with LHD. The key to your home.
Every dream conquered is another dream game. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people never say we are mash up the dance. Oh, what a feeling, don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down, shine your lights on.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Welcome back to CVM News at Noon. The 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference is now underway in Montego Bay, St. James, bringing together members of the Jamaican diaspora, government officials, business leaders, academics, and civil society stakeholders from across the globe. This year's conference comes at a critical time following the impact of Hurricane Melissa and the recent seismic activity, which have once again highlighted Jamaica's vulnerability to natural disasters and the urgent need to strengthen resilience. The conference has also become a platform for political leaders to outline their visions for Jamaica's future. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has highlighted what he describes as the government's strong economic performance and fiscal achievements, while Opposition Leader Mark Golding has called for deeper and more meaningful diaspora involvement in shaping national development. Now, at the center of these discussions is the question of how Jamaica can better leverage the skills, expertise, networks, and financial resources of Jamaicans living overseas to support growth and resilience at home. Joining us now is Jamaica's Consul General to the Southeast United States, Mr. Oliver Mayer. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayer, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Happy to be on the program.
So, Mr. Mayor, what would you say is the overarching goal of this year's Diaspora Conference, and what outcomes are organizers hoping to achieve by the end of the week?
It's about deepening diaspora partnerships and engagements. And I think so far it has been, very good. It's been oversubscribed from about 5 days ago. And the marketplace had over 80 companies showcasing their products. Persons on the ground have expressed, they're connected, making lots of new contacts. Jamaicans from all over the world are gathered here in Montego Bay. And people have said to me that it has been a fruitful investment of their time and effort here, and they're happy they came. And we're looking forward to build from this engagement to deepen the diaspora engagement even more.
Both Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Opposition Leader Mark Golding have used the conference to articulate different visions for diaspora engagement. From your perspective, what are the likely issues members of the diaspora are most concerned about right now?
There's a level of positivity that I hear on the ground. Even though there may be concerns, I think persons are excited when they hear about the improvements in our homicide rate and the fact that rating agencies have all reaffirmed the positive direction of the country. So a lot of persons are excited about the possibilities of investing on the ground, ensuring that they can exchange their skill sets. You know, there's a lady who came with me from Miami-Dade College. She heads the institution, and just today, I mean, they had a conversation with UTEC and University of West Indies to have some MOUs executed. And so all on the ground, you're hearing possibility. Far less complaints, even though that's very important. It's always good to have that. But a lot of people are just looking to see how is it that they can engage even more and get support for the projects that they have. They want to be a part of building Jamaica going forward.
So the theme, though, for this year's conference focuses heavily on resilience. Following Hurricane Melissa and recent seismic activity, how can the Jamaican diaspora play a more direct role in disaster preparedness, recovery efforts, and climate adaptation initiatives?
Well, I must tell you, I'm even from the southern United States, for which I have responsibility. Even before the hurricane hit, we already packing containers to come to Jamaica. We had over 60 drop-off points set up 2 days after the hurricane, and the region was responsible for over 40 million US dollars coming on the ground very quickly through organizations like Global Empowerment Mission, Food for the Poor, World Central Kitchens, just to name a few. And so I think the community, through Hurricane Beryl, had some practice with it. So out of adversity came a positive result, in the sense that the community was able to respond quickly and work closely with the agencies on the ground. And I think everybody now is attuned to building back stronger. So lots of resilience projects have been coming forward from the community. Of course, those will be channeled, of course, through NARA. And persons have identified how they can support, whether you support in a monetary capacity, you know, attending a concert, providing resources to Jamaica, or your skill sets. I think everybody had pretty much found their lane. We had over 6,000 persons who volunteered through Food for the Poor and GEM right here in Miami, just to help to load containers to come to Jamaica. So everybody has typically found their lane, how they can help. And it's a general feeling of people wanting to be a part of the rebuilding effort of Jamaica going forward.
So one of the recurring discussions at the conference since it has started is investment. Are you seeing greater interest among Jamaicans overseas in investing in renewable energy or other development projects on the island?
Definitely. And when you speak to the individuals in real estate, they will tell you that the uptick continues in real estate purchases, both from Jamaicans and from foreigners. Persons are interested in building smart cities, in climate resilient properties. People looking to invest in the stock market. They're looking to start businesses. A lot of people are actually looking to return home. Just our citizenship numbers at the consulate have jumped dramatically. And a lot of persons are asking the questions, you know, how can I acclimatize back home? And they're having discussions with JAMPRO and looking to set up businesses. And again, a very positive area. We've seen even a lot of young people asking questions about coming back home, and they're excited to be a part of the Jamaica going forward.
And as you mentioned, young people, Mr. Mayor, there's also a growing emphasis on engaging younger Jamaicans abroad. How important is youth involvement to the future of the diaspora movement, and what strategies are being discussed to ensure younger generations remain connected to Jamaica?
Very good question. And at the heart of everything we do, we always try to involve our young people because they are the future. And so there's always an emphasis. All the groups, the different groups in the diaspora community, we have been encouraging them to have young people as part of their leadership. We have a citizenship ceremony that we do at the consulate, that we recognize newly minted Jamaicans, and a lot of them are primarily young persons. I always try to stay engaged with them, connect them with groups, whether it be the Jamaica Women of Florida, the Jamaica Men of Florida, whether it's the Jamaica USA Chamber of Commerce. We try to get them involved in areas of interest to them. We interact a lot with the students at the various universities and provide an avenue to let them know that their voice is important, what they have to say matters, and especially as we move forward in the world of AI. You know, it's a lot about technology, which young people lead the way. And so we have been very embracing of their suggestions and participation, and we actively encourage them to be involved in all we do here in the diaspora.
All right. And Mr. Mayor, before we let you go, there have been reports that Jamaica and the United States could enter discussions on a proposed arrangement under which Jamaica would accept non-Jamaican nationals deported from the U.S. What can you tell us about the status of those discussions? What concerns are being raised within the diaspora, and what safeguards would Jamaica need to consider before any such arrangement is pursued?
Well, I would allow the Minister of Security to lead with that discussion. You know, one of the things I will say is that we heard some of the information came out in the press, and I know the minister has already issued a statement with that. But again, what I can speak to for this interview is just to say that there is buzz of activity, buzz of positivity coming from the conference, and people are just looking to actively engage. In fact, tomorrow there's going to be a Diaspora Day of Service where over 15 projects have been identified. Members of the diaspora will be going out in the community to help in terms of building back and working with people on the ground in various ways. We have a group here that will be working at a clinic, working with the Memorial Hospital and giving back to Barretown Clinic. We have some medical equipment that we have on hand to hand out individually. And then in the afternoon, we go to Catherine Hall Clinic to do active work on the ground. And that's just one of several projects that have been identified for the community here. And so, again, we're happy for their support. And this is just deepening the partnership going forward with our Jamaican diaspora.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. That was Jamaica's Consul General to the Southeast United States, Mr. Oliver Mayer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. In international news, health officials in the Democratic Republic